I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sex.
Since Toprak Razgatlioglu took over Yamaha V4 testing, the atmosphere in the paddock has changed dramatically. Every time he exits the pit lane, the attention of all the technicians, rivals, and media is immediately focused on him. Not only because of his status as world champion, but also because the way he rides the bike is so different. He enters corners more aggressively, brakes deeper, carries more speed mid-corner, and then shoots out of them with near-perfect control. The bike that previously seemed wild now seems remarkably tame in his hands. The question is this purely due to Toprak's extraordinary ability, or has Yamaha finally found the technical combination they've been searching for? Even more surprising, reports from within the paddock indicate that Yamaha's telemetry data shows an improvement that can't be ignored. It's not just impressive single fast laps, but also consistent speed in race simulations. Each test session signals that Yamaha's V4 project is moving in the right direction. In fact, some observers are starting to believe this development could change the Motogp landscape when the 850 cubic centimeters era officially begins. Then a major question arises that is now the subject of debate. Does Toprak's speed really stem from the characteristics of the Pirelli tires, which he has come to understand so well from years of dominating World SBK? Or has Yamaha secretly made major changes to the chassis, weight distribution, and characteristics of the V4 engine that are still largely unknown to the public? If these two factors are indeed working in concert, then it's possible that Yamaha is preparing a package capable of surprising its rivals, including Ducati, which has been the benchmark for performance in MotoGP for the past few seasons. In this video, we'll explore why many are starting to say that Pirelli has changed everything, how Toprak was able to bring out the full potential of the Yamaha V4, what technical changes Yamaha engineers are suspected of making, and why these test results are starting to make the entire paddock pay serious attention to their project. So, be sure to watch this video until the end, because at the end, we'll discuss one fact that could be the biggest clue as to why Yamaha suddenly looks much more dangerous than before. And here's the full news. Who would have thought that changing tires could drastically change a bike's character? Yet that's exactly what's currently a hot topic in the MotoGP paddock. After a series of tests on the Yamaha V4 850 cubic centimeters prototype bike with Pirelli tires, one name has once again caught the attention of the racing world: Toprak Razgatlioglu. The World SBK World Champion's performance looked drastically different compared to previous testing sessions. The bike, once considered wild, difficult to control, and not yet fully suited to Toprak's riding style, now looked remarkably stable, aggressive, and incredibly fast through every corner. Many observers are beginning to wonder, has Yamaha finally found the formula they've been searching for? Or are Pirelli tires the final piece of the puzzle of their V4 project? In the last few rounds of testing, sources in the paddock have reported that Toprak's lap times have improved significantly. Even more surprising, this improvement isn't limited to single fast laps or flying laps. His speed consistency has also improved across almost all race pace simulations. This has Yamaha engineers smiling broadly, as telemetry data demonstrates something they've struggled to achieve. One of the biggest changes is apparent when the bike enters hard braking areas. Toprak's riding style has for years been known to rely heavily on extreme late braking. In World SBK, Pirelli tires have become part of his riding style. Toprak is able to brake later than his rivals without losing stability. When Yamaha was still using a configuration developed with the characteristics of previous MotoGP tires, this ability hadn't fully emerged. However, when the bike was combined with Pirelli tires in the 850 cubic centimeters development project, Toprak's natural riding style seemed to be reawakened. The Yamaha V4 is now able to maintain front-end stability when entering corners. What was previously a weakness has become one of the bike's greatest strengths. Toprak looks much more confident carrying high speeds, right up to the final braking point before cornering. Not only that, technical analysts also highlighted how the Yamaha bike is now able to accelerate more cleanly out of corners. Rear traction appears much more consistent, allowing Toprak to open the throttle earlier without suddenly losing grip. This is one of the major advantages when the bike's character begins to blend with the tire's character. This doesn't mean that Pirelli automatically makes the bike faster, but the combination of the two can give riders greater confidence. And in racing, confidence is often worth a few tenths of a second over a single lap. Yamaha engineers reportedly spent a lot of time studying data on how Toprak shifts his body weight when entering corners. They then made various improvements to the bike's geometry, weight distribution, and engine braking characteristics to align with the capabilities of the new tires. The results are starting to be clearly visible on the track. The Yamaha V4 no longer appears to be a difficult bike to tame. Instead, it is starting to display the aggressive character that has long been synonymous with Toprak's riding style. What's most striking is how Toprak is able to repeat competitive lap times over several consecutive laps. Typically, riders can set a fast lap when the tires are in perfect condition. However, maintaining speed throughout a race simulation is a much more difficult challenge. This is where Yamaha sees great potential. Data shows that the tire performance degradation is more stable, allowing Toprak to maintain a racing rhythm over a longer period. This is a positive sign that the V4 project is progressing in the right direction. Some of his rivals are even starting to take notice of this development. They realized that if Yamaha could perfect the V4 engine, while fully understanding the characteristics of Pirelli tires for the 850 cubic centimeters era, the competitive landscape in Motogp could shift drastically. Over the past few seasons, Ducati has been known as the benchmark for acceleration, stability, and aerodynamic efficiency. However, Yamaha appears to be building a different package. Their focus isn't simply on engine power, but on creating a bike that truly suits their riders' riding style. And there's no one better suited to testing the limits of that capability than Toprak Razgatlioglu. His extensive experience with Pirelli tires in World SBK provides an advantage that other riders find difficult to replicate. He understands how to maximize grip, manage tire pressure during the race, and even utilize the tire's characteristics during extreme braking. This advantage is believed to be starting to become apparent during the development of the new Yamaha V4. However, Yamaha still has a lot of work to do. Testing is only the first step. The real challenge is ensuring that all of this performance remains consistent under real-world racing conditions, from changing track temperatures, tire strategies, to the pressure of competing against other major manufacturers. But one thing is starting to become clear. Toprak looks much more comfortable. The Yamaha bike looks much more stable. And the combination of the Yamaha V4 with Pirelli tires is starting to show potential that was previously only a hope. Is this truly the beginning of Yamaha's revival into the 850 cubic centimeters Motogp era? Or do their rivals still have something bigger up their sleeves to hinder their progress? What is certain is that every testing session is now becoming more and more interesting to follow. Because every lap Toprak completes seems to send a message to the entire Motogp paddock. Yamaha is not finished yet. In fact, they may have just begun the most dangerous chapter of their V4 project. If this development continues until the bike officially hits the track, it's not impossible that Toprak Razgatlioglu will become one of the biggest threats in the new Motogp era. And when that happens, many will remember one crucial moment as the turning point. The moment Pirelli changed everything.